Hey, welcome back to the Big Ranch Show. Thanks for joining me. Well, here's another story for you. First off, it's another story involving children, and it rather infuriates me to see this kind of bullshit happen. It doesn't make any damn sense to me whether the woman whether it's a woman or a child. I don't care. But a 12-year-old girl was raped about 8 to 9 years ago. And just this week, apparently, in the state of Michigan, the man was given joint custody of the child he created by raping this 12-year-old girl. Now, I completely agree that a man, when he has consensual sex with a person, should have access to their child. Okay? I completely agree with that. I completely agree that if a man is willing to be a part of his child's life, they should be. Especially in the case of, consensual sex. This man raped a 12-year-old girl after holding her sister, and a friend, apparently, captive in a vacant house near one of his relatives' properties for 2 days, where he raped this girl and subsequently got her pregnant. He later released one of the older girls into a park, according to the article, and the man, was charged with sexual misconduct, served 6.5 months of a 1-year sentence. Sexual misconduct. What you have is sexual assault of a child. But it was never charged as such. Even though they were basically taken against their will, held captive for 2 days, and raped. This girl did not get justice. She was not given the justice that she deserved. As the story goes in the article, the 3 girls snuck out of the house, which shame on them for doing so. But what happened after that should not have happened to anybody. I don't care if they snuck out of the house. I don't care if they broke curfew. I don't care what they did possibly that led to them being where they were. They were minors, and this girl was 12 fucking years old. So sure, they shouldn't have snuck out of the house, but also this guy should not have raped one of them. Apparently what happened is the guy showed up where they were meeting this boy of some sort, and this other guy showed up while they were there. And he had a car, and he said, "Hey, want to ride?" And they apparently thought they were going, he made like they were going to go get some food or something. But upon getting into the car, he took their phones and tossed them away where they couldn't get to them anymore. And then proceeded to take them to this vacant house where he raped one of them, got her pregnant, and held them captive for 2 days. That is kidnapping. So on top of what should have been a sexual assault of a minor or sex acts with a child, not only did he only get charged with sexual misconduct, which does not hold the same weight, nor does it keep him from being, put on a sex offender registry, he just basically gets off scot-free. Spends 6 months in jail. I have a friend of mine that spent 5 years in prison simply because his ass sold drugs. Not to children, but to consenting adults. Yet this fucker goes off and does what he does, and he gets a 1-year sentence, and that's it. And now he has joint custody. Now, here's something I've left out of the story for you. In the time between him raping this girl, spending 6.5 months in prison or jail or whatever it was, after he got out in 2010, he raped another minor between the ages of 13 and 15. Now, it doesn't take a genius to see what's going to happen to this child, given the fact that he has been being given joint custody to a father who is a child rapist. Okay? A child rapist. We cannot be sitting there allowing child rapists to walk free on our streets. The fact is, he served 1 year for sexual misconduct, got out, and immediately reoffended, raping another child. He served 4 years for that. And now, as a sex offender, he's given custody of any kind of a child. I don't care if it's joint custody, sole custody, any kind of thing. I don't care. Especially when it's non-monitored custody. His name is Christopher Mirasolo, 27 years old now. At the time, of course, it's about 9 years ago, so he was a bit younger, 17, 18 years old, I'm guessing. Let me try and do the math here. 10 years ago would have made him 17, so I guess he was just underage. So, you know, you give him the first case, the guy gets 1 year. He's a juvenile. Okay. A case like that, though, should have been tried as an adult. And whether it was or not, however it ended up, he ended up serving practically no time for it. And obviously didn't learn from it, because he immediately came out and freaking raped another person. Another person under the age of 18. But now you're giving him custody? It says here in the article, let me read part of the article here for you. Since his conviction for the rape in 2008, Mirasolo from Brown City, Michigan, has been convicted of another child sex assault for which he served 4 years in prison. The person who was raped, the person who was raped is now 21 years old, and she's seeking help under the what is it here? The Rape Survivor Child Custody Act to halt his access to this child. And it goes on. It talks a lot and goes deeper and deeper here. But let me read exactly what I believe. Yeah, this is coming from the attorney of one of the victims of this case. The victim and her 13-year-old sister and a friend all slipped out of their house one night to meet a boy. Well, kids do that. They get out and they do things they're not supposed to. It happens. And they're trying to meet a boy and the boy's older friend, apparently. And during that meetup, Mirasolo showed up and asked if they wanted to go for a ride. They thought they were going to McDonald's or somewhere. But instead, he tossed their cell phones away and drove to Detroit, where he stole gas from a gas station and then drove back to where he took them from. Back to what they could say it's Sanilac County, Michigan, where he kept them captive for 2 days in a vacant house near a relative, finally releasing the older sister in a park. And he threatened to kill them if they said anything. Yet this fucker is free to walk the streets. This fucker is free to walk the streets. Not only did he kidnap 3 minors, he raped one of them, gets out after only serving 6 months in jail, and then his ass reoffends raping another child, and this judge has the nerve to give this son of a bitch custody of a child. Now I'm hoping there is some way that they're able to rescind this ruling and keep this pile of shit from getting custody, actually getting any kind of custody of this child. Not only would custody of the child not being awarded to this pile of shit, this creep, this pedophile, not only would that endanger the life of the child and the well-being of the child, but also it'll victimize the mother over and over again every time she has to see his punk ass when she's having to hand over custody of her child to a man who is likely to rape them. Now, sure, the child is a boy, so maybe he won't. But he's already sexually assaulted 2 children. Should we risk that? Should that really be a risk we're willing to take? You ask me, the answer is no. You should not subjugate a child to the custody of a pedophile. Not just somebody who's, accidentally made a mistake and, accidentally had sex with someone that they thought was of age. No, this person knew the girl was 12 years old, forcibly raped her at 12 years old, making her become pregnant at 12 years old. And the girl, a lot of respect for her, she went ahead and had the child because she didn't feel that the child should be another victim. And yet, the court is trying to make this child become a victim of this pedophile. That's all I have on the story right now. If I have more information, I'll let you know. And y'all have a great day.